Hello, my name is Carly Eichhorn, and today I'm going to be doing a critique of Shepherd's Gate Lutheran Church and their social media ethics. This is for a class MC 5520, Religious Branding and PR at Oklahoma State University, and my professor is Dr. Rosemary Avance. To begin, here's an organizational summary of what we'll be discussing today. First, I'll have an introduction and then talk about what will be discussed and critiqued. Then I'll talk about some common problems with social media marketing and churches, the importance of this topic, how I'll be evaluating and critiquing Shepherd's Gate Lutheran Church and their social media ethics, some research questions that we'll hope to answer at the end of this presentation, be sharing 5 Instagram posts from Shepherd's Gate Lutheran Church social media so that we have a fair database to critique off of, a conclusion of my finding, and then all the references and research I used to create this critique. Shepherd's Gate Lutheran Church, also known as Shepherd's Gate or S-Gate Church, is near and dear to my heart because it's my hometown church in Shelby Township, Michigan, that I was a member of from the ages 2 years old all the way up until 17 years old. Although my heart has tied strings to this church, I will be critiquing it purely factually and unbiasedly, and I will be doing this by using ethical guidelines, previous research, and data that I'll be showing in this presentation. And the critique will aim to research an overarching question, and that is the branding and marketing of Shepherd's Gate social media misleading or unethical? And actually, research has shown us from James in 1997 that marketing and the church go really hand in hand more than people think. Marketing and the church have been going at each other for nearly 2,000 years, persuading and converting and building off customer loyalty that we see in many churches today. Research continues to state in Tipping 2005 that the similarities between branding and religion and marketing are stronger than most people think. Brands like religious institutions are built off values and beliefs that still stay strong today. And the supporters of both brands and religion remain faithful because they are promised a higher order of benefits from advertising and marketing. And the market for religion is increasingly getting competitive. In fact, Einstein in 2011 said that religious marketing has risen substantially over the past 2 decades. And this is, modernly speaking, now it's 2022 and this was in 2011, but it's still growing. And this is just due to societal changes, the notably difference in freedom to determine one's faith, and the mass media with its commitment to advertising and showing different people about different faiths and how they can become involved. And the importance of advertising in religion is really increased within modern society. The Vatican in 1997 also supported this research, saying that the church really stresses the responsibility of media to contribute an authentic and integral development of a person to have a well-being within religion and society and the modern world. So with this knowledge of knowing that religion and marketing went hand in hand 2,000 years ago and still in the modern world today often go hand in hand, the Vatican in 1997 also published that advertising has an indirect but powerful impact on society through its influence in the media. So today we are discussing and critiquing 5 different Shepherd's Gate Church Instagram posts and evaluating if the church's social media tactics are transparent and ethical, and if the marketing and the ethical guidelines go hand in hand with today's modern society. In this context of evaluating, I'm going to go based off of some research done by the Vatican in 1997 that says the media of social communications and advertising has 2 options. Either it's ethical and it helps humans to grow in their understanding and practice of what's true and good through religion, or it's unethical and its destructive forces conflict with human well-being. So today, my critique of Shepherd's Gate Church will be determining if the social media and the 5 Instagram posts I'm evaluating are A, ethical, or B, unethical. As much as people like to think churches are ethical and, typically have good at heart, there are some common problems that research has cited with churches and their marketing strategies and social media postings being unethical. Tipping in 2005 stated that the church often faces issues that traditional retailers also have, and this is how to stay relevant, how to stay modern, and really, a church just has to focus on delivering an experience that's meaningful and relevant to its core audience with also remaining ethical. James in 1997 published research that also stated another problem churches have with marketing, and that is, however, unlike traditional retailers, the church has a unique problem embracing modern marketing techniques because it's not really selling a product. Instead, a church is trying to get people to convert faith, get them to church, and to build Christian brands. The Vatican in 1997 said, the church is also unique because commercial advertisers are sometimes including religious themes or using religious images or personas to sell product. And it's possible for a church and commercial brands to do this in tasteful and acceptable ways, but often the practice is obnoxious or offensive to people, and it sometimes even exploits religion and really practices unethical standards. Catholic Culture in 1997 said, even in the modern day, advertising for churches can be tasteful, just like the Vatican said, and it can conform with the moral standards and stay relevant. Occasionally, this advertising can be uplifting, but oftentimes churches and marketing have a problem where the marketing can be degrading, sometimes vulgar, or frequently it can even appeal to such motives such as envy and seeking lust, which goes against most Christian religions and their practices. These common issues that churches have with marketing and staying relevant lead to why this topic is so important. Einstein in 2011 said that branding and advertising provide information through a combination of symbols, language, and mythology that we often see in religion. Always, it's an advertiser's intention to influence, increase awareness, and change perceptions. The Vatican stated in 1997 that those who advertise and communicate to the world are morally responsible for what they influence and change perceptions of. So what the Vatican is saying is it's supporting Einstein's research in 2011, saying that advertising is powerful and can impact a lot of people. However, you must be ethically responsible when you are marketing and combining a church. So the Vatican in 1997 continues to state that if an instance of advertising seeks to move people and act rationally and morally in good ways, it's a true benefit of marketing, and it's a benefit to those who are marketing and who are consuming this marketing, and that everyone involved is, participating in something that's morally good. However, on the other hand, if advertising seeks to move people in evil deeds that are self-destructive or don't support an authentic community, the advertising can often do evil and not support a Christian brand very well. The Vatican ends this research by saying it's morally wrong to use religion and advertising at a church to be manipulative, exploitative, corrupt, or ruining methods of persuasion and motivation that can be often used to help people and support a church or religious organization. The importance of marketing and communication strategies used through religious organizations and its impact that it can have on others leads me to being so passionate about evaluating Shepherd's Gate Lutheran Church and evaluating its social media marketing practices, because it's an organization that was religious and influenced me growing up. So after researching several ethical sales, communication audits, and research articles about churches and their communication and marketing ethics, I've composed my own strategy for critiquing religious marketing materials that's kind of a combination of a lot of different research I found. The strategy I will be using consists of 3 main evaluating questions that have a series of sub-questions. These sub-questions answer and describe the overarching 3 main questions. Each social advertisement will be evaluated by these 3 questions. And if the social media advertisement answers 2 out of the 3 questions with a yes, then the advertisement will be deemed as ethical. However, if it does not answer 2 out of the 3 questions with a yes, then the advertisement will be deemed as unethical. The 3 evaluation questions that will critique each of the 5 social media advertisements are: does the advertisement intend to reach a target audience? Is the advertisement's message clear and applicable? And is the advertisement appropriate for a church to be marketing? At the end of this evaluation process, the goal is to critique and answer one overarching question, and that is the branding and marketing of Shepherd's Gate Church misleading or unethical? For all 3 evaluation questions, I compiled research from Green 2003, Central Finance Board 1999, Life Church 2022, Tolbert 2014, Vatican 1997, Vital Kumar and Sikikapakti 1993. And all this research I compiled created the sub-questions for the 3 evaluation questions. So the first evaluation question is, does the advertisement intend to reach a target audience? This will be applied to all 5 Instagram advertisements, but its sub-questions that you can kind of think about when answering this question are, is the advertisement reaching a target audience? Is the communication tailored to the target audience? Is the trend or strategy being used important when sharing a message with the target audience? When targeting new members, would they be able to understand all the words and names used in this marketing strategy? Does the message fit the context of where people will read and experience this material? Does the advertisement target minors appropriately? And is the marketing tended for a target audience, or is it more in favor for the general public perception and gaining popularity? The second evaluation question is the advertisement message clear and applicable? And when answering this question for all 5 Instagram advertisements that we'll be critiquing, some other questions to kind of support and think of in the back of your mind can be, does this message answer who, what, when, where, why, and how? Is the message clear? Does the message fit the context of where people will read and experience the material? Does the advertising piece meet its goal? Does the message stray away from deceptive, false, and misleading information? Does the advertisement use high pressure or manipulation tactics? Would someone feel exploited by the advertisement? Does the message play onto insecurities? And does the advertisement display social responsibility and respect the human beings being shown in the marketing? The third evaluation question that will be asked when critiquing the 5 Instagram advertisements is this advertisement appropriate for a church? And when thinking about this question, a couple sub-questions can be thought of and applied. And those are, what is the biblical teaching in regard to this marketing strategy? It is often said that the best ambassadors for a church are the congregation. Are the members reflected in this advertising message, or is it just random people? In addition, the Christian church has one of the oldest and most recognizable logos out there, and that's the cross. Can the consumer recognize that this advertisement is for a church, or does it not even have a religious connotation? In addition, religion and faith have been built off consistency. Is the branding consistent with previous advertisement and Christian expectations for marketing? Also, oftentimes inappropriate Christian expletives and explanations and slogans such as bloody hell, you better believe it, or God knows who I am, and holy smoke are used in Christian marketing. Are there any explanations or explicits used in the marketing? Lastly, there are many examples of slogans that Christian copywriting use, such as God loves you. It's important to evaluate, are there any copyrighted messages being used? The first advertisement being critiqued is an Instagram advertisement titled SG Shining Moment. SG often means Shepherd's Gate, and the caption reads, SG Shining Moment. Shout out to our amazing volunteers who helped out gifts for all God's children by wrapping presents for the girls and boys of Southeast Michigan this past weekend. Way to bring in the Christmas spirit. Now, I would say that the target audience is applied in this advertisement, and that's our first overarching question. This is because it's showing a picture of a young child, an older woman, kind of showing that anybody's welcome to volunteer and help out the all God's children, boys and girls. It's very welcoming and reaching a target of people who want to volunteer. This also leads into the second question we're evaluating, that this message is deemed ethical. It's not manipulative or wishing harm's way or ill will. It's about volunteering and helping people, and the picture goes along with the caption showing exactly what, the words mean, that they're volunteering and helping out. I would also say that this message is very church appropriate. It's an event happening at a church. It's focused around Christmas, which is a Christian holiday. So for this Instagram advertisement, all 3 questions being asked have green check marks for me. This advertisement is ethical. For the second Instagram advertisement being evaluated is titled We Sing Joy. The caption on this advertisement reads, Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her king. Let every heart prepare his room, and heaven and nature sing. And it's just kind of a stock photo of We Sing Joy, or maybe somebody graphically designed that. No people are being mentioned. It's just kind of reiterating the caption. So for this, it does not really mark off a target audience or really trying to reach anyone in general. Oftentimes churches say they don't really have a target audience. They're welcoming anyone. But it's a good idea for ethical advertisement to try and reach someone or try to have some kind of goal, and not just be posting and reaching for empty grabs of anyone who will look. However, this message is really ethical. It has no manipulation or, ill will towards anyone. It's just using lyrics from a popular Christian song used around Christmas time. This also makes it very church appropriate. No other organization would really be posting, a Christian Christmas song, just kind of around this holiday season. So overall, this advertisement marks 2 out of the 3 check marks for me. It is ethical. I just wish it had a stronger target audience or kind of purpose in being posted. The third Instagram advertisement being evaluated is a St. Nicholas visit. This is a picture of some children, look like maybe they're performing or singing, and the caption reads, What a visit we had from St. Nicholas. Families enjoyed learning about the legend and stories of St. Nicholas. Merry Christmas to everyone. And there's parentheses kind of around the one, like Merry Christmas to you in particular, you're included in that everyone, kind of making it feel more individualized. So because of this individualization and kind of trying to reach everyone, showing some kids, showing that children and families are welcome at the church, it does check off answering the target audience questions for me. It does check off that box and deemed ethical under that question. In addition, I believe this message is very ethical. St. Nicholas is a story about Christmas and the Christian faith, so it's very ethical. It's not trying to manipulate or having any bad message behind it. It's an ethical caption and picture being shown. And then it's also very church appropriate. Merry Christmas to everyone. Again, Christmas being a Christian holiday, it's what a church is supporting and posting about. So overall, this advertisement checked off all 3 questions for me and is deemed very ethical and appropriate. The fourth advertisement from Instagram being evaluated is titled Christmas Time is Here. And it's actually a little Instagram reel, almost like a TikTok, rather than a photo this time. And it kind of just shows what Christmas time is like around the church, what worship looks like, what decorations look like, what kind of activities are happening around the church. And the caption reads, Christmas time is here. Find joy and cheer at SG or Shepherd's Gate Christmas Eve service online and in person. For service times and details, tap Linktree in our bio. everyone is welcome at Shepherd's Gate. And again, we're seeing that everyone, using the word that kind of encapsulates everyone and doesn't really have that target audience when you're saying everyone, yet focusing on the one, focusing on the individual that, the church really wants you at their Christmas Eve service or to follow online. I think it's being inclusive by giving a link for people to see all the Christmas Eve service times or even follow along online. It's targeting many different sectors of people that could be interested in their service. So for the target audience question, that is marked ethical for me. And again, very ethical message, wanting everyone to be involved, wanting to be inclusive, wanting to spread Christmas joy and love. Really good intent behind this. And really just trying to be inclusive to everyone. So that question is checked off for me as well. And I would say this is church appropriate. They're messaging Christmas Eve service online. They're messaging Christmas time. They're messaging, their kind of brand SG to promote their church. So I would say, if somebody's just randomly clicking on this ad, they know it's for a Christian organization. They know it's for a church. So that check mark is also there for me. All three questions get the green light on this advertisement. The fifth Instagram advertisement I'm critiquing is a Thanksgiving reminders post. And it just shows some images of, a turkey, a couple Thanksgiving foods, saying that God is good even when circumstances are not. Pray for everyone. Kindness goes further than harsh words. You are worthy. You deserve to rest. And the caption reads, reminder to take a breath and count your blessings and lean on God for support this week. Then it shares a Bible verse. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Psalms 19:14. And for this, I had a hard time seeing what the target audience was. Again, oftentimes religious organizations don't say they have a target audience. They're trying to reach everyone. So maybe in this case, maybe some older adults that are struggling this Thanksgiving season with some stress, but the target audience just didn't get the green light for me on this advertisement because it wasn't really clear, and it really didn't focus on those ethics that we talked about in the beginning of this presentation. However, the message is still ethical, even though it doesn't necessarily have a target audience. It's still wishing people well. It's giving people stress management tips for the holidays. It's using religion in a way to bring people calm and peace in what could be a stressful time for them, and sharing a Bible verse to bring strength and a calmness to people during Thanksgiving. And for this, I deem church appropriate. If somebody clicks on this, they're going to see a Bible verse. They're going to see lean on God for support. The first picture reads, God is good even when circumstances are not. So right away when clicking on this, it's very church appropriate, very age appropriate for anyone who could be seeing this on Instagram. It focuses around religion and, isn't just trying to reach a popular audience, but is staying true to the church's morals and ethics of being a Christian organization. Overall, after critiquing the 5 Instagram ads for Shepherd's Gate Church and using ethical guidelines and literature review and research and data from a lot of sources that combine religion and marketing, all the posts seemed ethical. All of them answered at least 2 out of the 3 overarching questions, if not 3 out of 3. Some of the advertisements struggled to reach a target audience, but for the most part, I believe 3 out of the 5 reached a target audience strongly, and you knew exactly who the advertisement was targeting. The advertisement's message was clear and applicable for all advertisements. You knew whether they were posting about Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve services or a children's event, and the message was always appropriate for the audience it was intending to reach and very ethical. And then the advertisements were all also very appropriate for a church. They were mentioning service or Bible services or ways God can work in your life. The advertisements were not used to just build popularity or clout. They were all focused on building religion and being ethical for the organization that they were supporting. So overall, to answer, is the branding and marketing of Shepherd's Gate Church misleading or unethical? No. All of the advertisements and social media Instagram ads that were evaluated were ethical and fit ethical context, data, and backgrounds that were evaluated. To see which research for religion and marketing I used for this project, and to check out some of the Instagram ads on the website itself, you can look at these references that I used to create this project. Thank you for listening.